Good afternoon everyone, and welcome back to today's video. Today I'm going to do a chatty get ready with me, and it's a story time chatty get ready with me. So I'm going to start my makeup. I've already primed my eyes. I'm going to go in with the Roxy Ride or Die palette. So I'm going to get started. So I've never had a very good school life. Well, I wouldn't say never, but I've had up and down moments in school. And when I went to primary school, I went to a Church of England school. It was St Mary's Primary School, C of E. Now, my parents weren't religious, neither was I or anything like that. But it was possibly the reason was because it was a good school. So let's get some eyeshadow on my face. So let's see, what am I going to go in with? Yes, I think I'll just do something quick and easy today. So I'm going in with this shade Cookie. Right, so I think it was just because I'm not going to use that. A good school. So that was fine. I cried every day for about a couple of weeks because it was all new, and I'd only ever known being at home or going to a playgroup, what they called them back then. They call them nurseries now. And so I only knew that. And I think I cried at the playgroup as well. So, it was a running pattern. So, primary years seemed to be fine. No problems, I don't think. And then time moved on and I got into juniors. And, the crying stopped after a couple of weeks. It didn't continue. So I think a lot of kids cry first when they go to school and that. I think it's just, they're not used to it. So juniors, I remember it started where there was this one boy, particularly, lived quite close to the school, that would pick on me a bit. And no reason at all, but every time we walked back home, he would be there and he'd be picking all the time, picking on me. And a few occasions I got out of that because I went a different way home with my friend Katie, and we went another way back, and I used to be able to go two ways. So the shorter way, the main route, and then another way onto another. It was a long road and it was a main road, so probably wouldn't have done it today, we kids, but anyway, back then, mid-70s you did, because I was born in 1973, so it would have been the 70s when I was at this school. Until, 73, 83, 84, so 1984. I would have been there too. So there was some of the 80s there, about 4 years. But anyway, regardless of that. So, if I wanted to get away from it, and I was just hanging around with Katie, and there were some trees down that way, had conkers on them, conker trees. So we used to, I'm calling them conker trees like I don't know the real name. In fact, at the minute I can't put it from memory. So we used to go and collect the conkers when they were ready, so we enjoyed that. So, I could bypass that lad and get away from it. So it started at primary school, and then I was heading to go to a secondary school where most of my friends was going to, I don't know which secondary school it was called, I don't know what it was called at all, but my mum knew it was quite a bad school and she didn't want me there. So she was looking for another school, and she found somewhere called Longfield High School. And it was a newly built school as well. It wasn't very old. A couple of years or so, or whatever. And there was a couple of other people in the school that was going to Longfield as well. So somebody from Longfield School come in and had a chat with us and showed us the school on a video, and because it was a video back then, it wasn't DVDs like we got today or streaming services. And so, you know, he showed us everything, and then they showed us all the school uniform and everything like that, and you know, just to try and get us comfortable with the idea. And then in a few weeks time we went to visit the school in person, and I'd look round for real. So that went well. I remember being quite apprehensive but also quite excited about it. And so we looked round this school and everything, the school we're going to be at, and we was told that they wouldn't tolerate any bullying, you know, it would be stamped out immediately. So that sort of gave me a little bit of a... I think at the time I just felt a bit more relief from that, because I knew I'd been suffering at primary school. It wasn't just that one lad either, there was a few. In the end it was picking on me all the time and everything. I'm so glad when I tell you what happens when I go further up into school, you know, into schooling, and that we didn't have anything like mobile phones or social media or anything like that, because I don't think I would have been here today. Let's put it that way. So I was really excited, move along a bit of time after the summer holiday, and started at school. Now I had to catch the bus to school. I had to go on the bus on my own. My mum took me the first day because it was my first day, but then after that she said, look, you're 11 years old. You don't want me taking you to school now because you're going to be laughed at. And back then you could do that with your kids, let them travel on the bus on their own and everything, and you knew they'd be fine. I mean, there were people about who was horrible, but, you know, mainly you was fine, and I knew you would be safe. And I keep putting this on, like, I can't figure out how to do makeup. I don't know what's going on. So I was going to go on this bus into the centre of Melton Mowbray, which is where I was living, Melton. So I had to go into town, because it was only a small place. Right, what else am I going in with? Because that lot's fine. I keep doing it. I don't know what I was doing then. I think I got engrossed in the conversation. Or me just talking to a camera right now, obviously. Right, what am I going to put on next? It's going to be just a basic look today, nothing too elaborate. Yeah, I'm going to put on the shade Mars. It looks like that, so it's a bit of an orangey gold, so I'm going to place that on. Use my finger. So after my mum took me to the school the first day, I had to make the trip into town. Like I say, it was a very small town. It wasn't one of the big towns. You know, if you go into Leicester city centre, it's quite massive, but this was about a quarter the size of that, I think. So every day I just went into town on this bus, and every day I walked from the town about 20 minutes to the school. So yeah, I had a fair bit of walking after that, and did that no problem. And then, you know, school was fine. I enjoyed it. It was nice. I quite like that school, actually, a lot. I've got I've got very good memories of it. So went to that school, everything was fine, getting on lovely, getting to the lessons. We had to cut up a bullfrog in biology, and I couldn't do that. No, I wasn't doing that kind of thing. No way. No. Yes, that happened. I mean, I don't know if kids today have to do that. I'm not really sure. So anyway, so the first couple of weeks or month or so was really good, and then it started, didn't it? It started. Somebody started picking, and I don't know why they do it. I really don't. Even today, I don't know why people can't just leave people alone. But they always say kids are the cruelest. Yeah, that's all right with me. That'll do me today. So it started. I was getting picked on a bit, and because I didn't go and tell anyone, it continued on and on. And I used to be in a lower grade English class, so it was a very small group of us, and the teacher was taking it, said to me, "What's wrong, Vanessa? There's something wrong. You're not happy, and you usually are. What's going on? Is there something I can help with?" And she talked to me. And I told her about these boys that was picking on me and bullying me and wouldn't leave me alone and kept calling me names and kept just being horrible, as kids can be. And so, right, what am I going in with? I'm going to use, I think I'm just going to use a BB cream today. So she said, "Why haven't you said anything?" I went, "Well, nothing got done at primary school," because it's true it didn't. So she says, "I'm going to have a word with the headmaster. This is going to stop, and it stops now. Trust me, it will stop now." And she had a word with the headmaster, and back then, caning was still in, capital punishment was still going on in schools. And so these lads were queued up out the headmaster's office ready to be punished for what they'd done. And so they got punished for that. I'm not sure if they got the cane, I just knew it was in, you could cane kids back then. I mean, I think that's horrendous. I wouldn't hit a child myself. I don't think it's right. There are far more ways of getting your child to do as you want them to and to stop being, a pain and all that and being naughty and doing whatever without hitting them, really. So I've never been a fan of all that. Smacking a child, I just don't think it's necessary. If it's what you do, then, you're the parent there, that is your choice. But to me, I don't think it's right. So I think they got caned. I don't know if they got caned, but I know that after that, it immediately stopped. And I never got it again. Unfortunately, my dad passed away. He got very, very ill with cancer. Then Mum met up with an old friend, what she'd known for years and really liked then. And they ended up getting together. So my stepdad, who did a great job with me. Anyway, regardless of that. So he wanted us to move here, which is why we came here, because I was about 12. And it was the school holidays, and I knew we was leaving, and I was leaving a school I really loved. I really got on well. My grades were great. My school report was glowing because I got extra pocket money. My pocket money allowance went up because my parents were so proud of me. So I had to leave there, and I didn't want to. I was happy, I was doing great, and I was miserable, and possibly why I gave Bunt a hard time for a while, other than being a horrible grotty teenager and doing what they do, but we all go through that. So I came to Melton, and I started a school which has been remodernised now because it looked very 70s, well 80s looking, and it was very old and very grotty. And anyway, I started to school, what they called then Rushing Reed Secondary School, and it was 5 minutes walk. It was very short distance. That was the only good thing about it. So I started there when I was 12, and went to see the place. You wore what you wanted. It wasn't school uniformed. I think every school should have a school uniform, then the kids know what they've got to wear that day, and there's no argument. So I went for no day visits or anything. It was just to see the head of year, what I'd be in, Arbor. I'll give her Arbor. And so seeing her, Mrs. Gray, and then I started about a week later, and that was it. And I first went into her office, and then I got took to the class I'll be in, my form, and it was just horrible from day one. I thought, let's just blend that in, I thought I knew what bullying was until I went to that school. It was horrendous. Don't get me wrong, I tried to give as good as I could, but when you have one parent, because you could go two ways home from that school, you could go through the park or you could just go the roadway, both about the same time frame. And when you have to have your mum at the park end watching out for you, and your stepdad at the street end watching out for you, we know we have problems. It was so bad. I got picked on for everything, every single day. I got called fruitcake, specky. I mean, yeah, fair enough, those are your usual names. I got kicked, I thumped, punched, everything. No one would leave me alone. And when you was in these classes and you was getting it in the class, no teacher could control the kids. Nobody could do anything about it. One teacher did manage to gain some control, and that was Mr. Barker. I can't remember his first name. I don't know if he's still alive, to be honest. Possibly not. I don't know. He was amazing. He was really, really good. I liked him, but he could only do so much, because once the kids got out the school gate, you're not allowed to intervene, which I think is wrong, to be honest. So yeah, I got picked on really badly, really bad, punched. I was bruised, and the reason why my mum and my stepdad had to rate at both ends is because the gangs would follow me coming out of them gates, get me to the park and beat me to hell. Beat the fuck out of me. It's what I'm really trying to say. And I kid you not, it was horrible. I was bruised, I was battered. I didn't want to go to school, obviously. I didn't want to go. I mean, I didn't want to go when it was PE, but that's normal for everyone, I think. PE is horrible. But yeah, I scarfed off. I went to the park because I knew no one would bother me. I skived, and the park was 2 minutes walk away, you know, it wasn't very far, and I was very bored, but I was happier than being there. So this went on for years. My mum went to the school, my dad went to the school, I do call him dad because at the end of the day he wants a name. He was a very good man. I had two dads and they're both very good. So they went to the school, tried to sort it out. School report comes along, and I saw this school report because I found it. I don't know why Mum kept it. But on school reports, I don't know if you do now, I don't know if they're all digital now, But these were written little booklets from each teacher from each various lessons what you do. And on the back there was always a bit of paper for you to put your input, parents put the input what they thought, if they wanted to, and send back. And the back page was missing on this report, and I thought, oh way up, this one must be terrible. So I read it. Horrid. Every single teacher, except for a couple, Mr. Barker didn't, and there was someone else that didn't either. But most of them teachers would say, I don't interact in class. I don't give people a chance to be my friend, because apparently being kicked the hell out of and bullied like that and called names and all of that is friendship apparently, and I was missing the point. Right. So, yeah, all things like that, they were horrible. I weren't interacting, and you won't make new friends if you behave like this. It's like, why is this all my fault? Why is this my fault all of a sudden? So they weren't happy with that report, so I don't know what they wrote, but you know, they wasn't happy. And they went into the school again and they said, you know, this is not Vanessa, this is not her. She's very, you know, at home she's very comfortable being where she is. And there's no problems at home because she's happy at home, you know, basically. And she's safe at home, which is not what she is here, is it? So they spent a lot of time going back and forth to that school, having words with that head teacher, which was the most useless person ever, Mr. White. Yeah, I will call out, you know, I'm going to. And don't even go there with a PE teacher, oh my goodness. So I will go there with a PE teacher in a moment. So, two of them, like bitches. One more of a bitch than the other. So, yeah, apparently this was all my fault. So they was always going up to the school and trying to sort things out. Nothing ever got sorted out. So eventually, all they did for me, which made me feel singled out even more, was give me this little piece of paper that said I was allowed to leave 15 minutes at the end of the day earlier than everyone else. This is all they could do to safeguard me. All they could do. And you think that just makes it even worse for you. Because you're singled out. Because you're leaving early because of that. Yes, I didn't get bullied. And my mum could go back to work because she knew I was safe. And she wanted to, you know, go back to work again because she could, and I was alright at home. You know, I was independent enough for that. And she wanted to be back at work. She only did a couple of hours in the evening, but she did that. And obviously my dad was working. Let's see, where's that brush? But yeah, that really singled me out. And it was good because I got home safe. And I was inside. And I was in my safe place, which is home. And so that was good. Until this, the PE teacher, let's go there. This PE teacher, on my first day in PE at that school, knowing I had asthma, made me run, and you know how big these sports halls are, made me run around that sports hall over and over and over again, and she would not give me my inhaler because apparently asthma doesn't exist. Yeah, that happened. Mrs. Gray. So that happened. Mrs. Kershaw was the other PE teacher. And you can come on here and have a go at me if you like, because I really don't care. She was as evil as that one. But then once, because Mrs. Gray was having a baby, so she went away to have her baby. God knows how that managed to grow up. If that one managed to grow up to be a decent human being, having a mother like that. So she went off to have a baby. Now I was worried about who was going to do PE, because Mrs. Kershaw wasn't really doing it that much. She was also having an affair with one of the teachers, I kid you not. So we got this other PE teacher, and I was very nervous about it. And she was really lovely. She went, "I've got your inhaler. If you need your inhaler, Vanessa, just tell me and you can have it. I'm not going to take it away from you. I'm just going to keep it safe, but you can have it. We'll give this cross-country run a try, but you walk it if you want to." And she was just great. She was lovely, really nice. And because I think they had to make you do these cross-countries, even though you really didn't want to. And having asthma wasn't the best idea, was it? So she was really nice. Got on really well with her. She was there for about a year or two, and then she went, and I was sad she'd gone. I think I've overdone in the corner today. Anyway, so during this time of school, well, obviously PE was horrible, except when she was there. Really liked her. Can't remember her name, but she was lovely. I did like my form teacher, Miss McDermott. Jean is her name. She was really good. She was really nice. Could have been a bit more observant if you look back on it today. But yeah, she was nice and all. Just going to quickly do this because I have to concentrate on the brows. You never know what day is going to be a bad brow day. I knew that shopping, so I need the time. It won't be long. He'll be giving me a call. Right, okay. So, this bullying and horribleness went on for a long time. Long time. And I was going home early, and which singled me out even more. I had new trainers, which were quite the newest type of trainer out, Adidas ones. And because my mum bought them from a discounted store, and they was the same trainers, as far as I'm concerned, I got picked on for that. I got picked on for the trousers I wore, picked on for the skirts I wore, picked on for blouses I wore, anything really. Picked on just for walking into the gates, probably. So, yeah, this was going on for a long time. And then this group of lads from a higher year still. Because these group of people picked on me. Not all lads either, some girls. I did learn self-defence in an after-school class once. And I still know all them moves today. So, you know, I did learn that. So that helped. Yes, I'm not really a fighter, never have been. So yeah, this group of lads came along one day, and they knew I was leaving early. They cottoned onto it, so they left early. And I have never been so scared and terrified in my whole life than what I was that day. This lad, they cornered me, got a knife out and pointed it at my throat. I was terrified. this should not be going on in schools. And I know, even today, this goes on in schools. It's horrendous. It's terrible, honestly. More needs to be done. But yeah, I was petrified. When I managed to get away, and I ran the rest of the way home, regardless of me having asthma and everything like that, I got in and really looked so frightened. And I was looking behind me and looking down the street, is there anyone there, and I was crying and I was having asthma. And my mum said, just take your inhaler, let's calm you down. There's nobody here, it's alright. And I don't know why she wasn't at work at that point, because she normally was. This might have been a bit before she went to work. You know, sometimes things in life are sketchy, aren't they? And this could have happened before I left early, but I'm pretty sure it was during the time I was leaving early. Maybe Mum had some time off. I think that could have been it. So, and then once I'd calmed down and everything, I said what had happened. And she said, could you identify them? And I just went, yes, I can. So the police had to be called that day because of what happened. And this has got very serious, I am aware. And I'm going to put my eyeliner on and use green, I think, today. So the police got called. A nice police woman came out and had a chat to me. And, just asked me if I could identify them. And, what happened and all of that. And she said to me, this will be dealt with. And then the next day, the police were at school. Bearing in mind, with most of the teachers and that, my name was already modern, so was theirs. But, there wasn't having this. Because Bun is what I called my stepdad. And it was a nickname. And he just went, this is stopping now. I'm not having any more of this. No more. So, right, naturally, and the police got called out and they went to the school and they had a word with every one of them lads. Not just a word, they got a real telling off. Because, if you can do that at I don't know, about 14, 13, 14, possibly 14, I can't remember the age, but if you can do that to a girl at that young age, and you've got a knife pointing it at somebody's throat with the intent to stab, with the intent to cut someone's throat, what are you going to be doing in your adult life? What are you going to be doing? So yeah, that was horrendous. But you know what? After that, things improved. Things got better. I'm not saying massively, but things got better. And I never had to worry about the knife at the throat again. And I think that's when I was going early. I don't think it was before that. I think it was after that incident I ended up going early. I can't quite remember because it's a long time ago. And so, that school was hell. Absolute hell on earth. There was some good moments though. One moment where a lad that was in the French class with me balked me and, was horrible to me for so long that day I just had enough. So I bopped him on the nose. And I'm not a fighter, but I went whacked. His nose bled. The teacher came in, she went, what is wrong with your nose? She's just hit me. And you know what? She just went, well, you must have done something pretty awful to get it. Go and sit down, get something on your nose and shut up. I thought, yes. But I'm not using that wand anymore either, by the way. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't like the wand anymore. It's weird. Anyway, so there was that. Now, there was this girl also that was went away for a while to Scotland. I don't know why. And she was horrible with her friend. Horrible. And so, while she was away though, her friend that used to bully me with her went and got friends with me. And then when she came back and tried to start where she left off, not only did she get me saying to her, if you think you're going to start on me and carry on where you left off, you're very much mistaken, because I will kick your head up and down this corridor several times. I don't know where that came from. And so she did leave me alone. And when she went into the class and told her, she went, yeah, she's right. She went, what? I went, yeah, Ness is fine. There's nothing wrong with Ness. She's lovely. So, you know, she was a bit shocked when she come back to her best buddy. She thought was going to be with her again, bullying. She got shocked. A real shock. I think there was a moment in French. I was just being daft. Because I wanted to be liked. I wanted people to like me. I'm that kind of person. I couldn't give a monkeys now, but, you know, back then, you want people to like you. You don't want to be anything else. I can't think of the word for it. So, the German teacher was taking the French class. I don't know why. I think the French teacher was off. Probably too sick of his lot. And so he said to me, because I wasn't very good at French. I wasn't really that good in languages. And I wanted to do German as well. And years later I did try German, and I can talk some German as well. Yeah, I got there. So I should have continued that because I was enjoying it. So anyway, he said to me, came up to me and said something in French, and I had no clue what he was on about. And then he goes, oui, oui. And I knew he meant yes, yes. But I just went, no thanks, sir, I've just been for pee. Flippant, you know. Well, the class laughed. They did laugh, I have to admit, and I was quite happy that everybody laughed. And then I got sent outside the class to wait outside in the corridor, because it obviously shouldn't have done that. And then the form teacher came along and says, it's not like you to be in the corridor. What did you do? Because it wasn't. But I just wanted to be the class clown for 5 minutes, you know, and I made it. Right, I'm just going to use this to try and perk these lashes up. I don't know what's wrong with my eyelashes. It's either the eyelashes or the mascara, I don't know. But that mascara dried out so fast. Maybe I shouldn't have opened it to try it at first and then leave it. I made a mess of that idea. I made a boo-boo, yeah. Not. Crap. It's rubbish now. I'm going to have to buy a new mascara and hope for the best. I'm fussing with mascaras at the best of times, but I can't keep that. Right, so yeah, there was that moment. I never liked geography at school. I found it boring. But then years later you realise that maybe you should have took a bit more notice and you might have known where these countries was. I have no clue. So yeah, there was that, but yeah. It took that to stop it. And it did. It put a block on most of it. I wouldn't say all of it. And there is an amount of bullying in all schools at the end of the day. And it's very hard to put, you know, to put the foot down on it. But, yes, it was bloody horrible. And I went for my exams and I failed them, most of them, deliberately, on purpose, because I didn't care. And I wish I didn't do that, but I did. Right, I've got to be careful with this because it's broke, which I'm not happy about. So I failed them on purpose, except for a couple. I wanted to do well in the basic English because, yes, I was still in the basic English class. Oh, and that boy never touched me again after watching my nose. There was also, I knew a girl I was friends with, because I did have some friends, you know. Who used to get sexually abused by a parent. I know that, which is awful. Anyway, so my exams came along. I failed most of them deliberately. Not because I wasn't bright enough, I just didn't want to pass them. I thought, fuck you to the school, you know, basically. Sorry if you don't like swearing, but that's the only word that warrants it. Oh, no, don't do that. Because this component is snapped. Right. Keeping it in the box was just to keep it a bit more safer. And I'm using highlighter a little bit again. And so when it came to the last day, my last exam, and the last time I'd ever have to walk into that school again, I couldn't wait. I think I used a peachy tone, and I couldn't wait to leave. And when I'd done that last exam, I stood at them school gates and I just went, I am never walking back into this place ever again. Good riddance to bad rubbish and the place of hell. And I walked home with a smile on my face. And that was one of the happiest days of my life, I swear. Most people say the happiest days of your life are your school days. I think not. The only happy time I had at school was, I don't know what I'm doing with this highlighter. I'm making a right, oh, what do you call it? It's going tits up. Right. Yeah, it's not working today. The highlight just left me. It's just gone, no, we're not going there. I'm sorry. Oh, no. Oh, that'll have to do, honestly. So, yeah, I walked out there and I never walked back in. Some years later, it became Rushmead Academy. I couldn't care less about the name. They upgraded the school, they updated it, they knocked down the original buildings and built new ones, and apparently it's a great place to be and all of that. Yeah, if you sort out your bullying problem. But let's be honest here, unless you've got a good head teacher and good teachers in general, and there was some good teachers like I told you about, it's not going to happen, is it? So, yeah, horrendous. But you know what? It shaped me. Because although I had many years after school to try and calm down my aggravation and my anger, because it was quite bad, I eventually calmed it down with the help of my ex. I'm wondering what liquid's for. I'm probably just going to put cake on. I have to start the new one soon. You know, it shaped me as a person because I'm a much better person than those bullies will ever be. I'm a much better person. Oh, I got pushed down the steps because they used to have these like mobile buildings for some lessons. I'll pop a picture here if I can find one. And I got pushed down the steps of one of them. And the girl that did that made friends with me years later on a course for the YTS. Yeah. Because I was doing a childcare course after school on the YTS scheme. And it was a youth training scheme. I don't know if they do it anymore. Shouldn't really, it was useless. And when I seen her, I thought, oh no, not again, please, no. I'm having a happy life here. Please don't ruin it. And no, she turned out to be a friend in the end. She apologised for what she'd done to me. All that stuff, she apologised, and I just went, wow, okay. And I just thought, I'll give it a chance then. I don't know why, but I did. So anyway, I have finished the makeup, and you haven't seen it properly, and I've just plonked my glasses on. Anyway, I'm going to have to go because I will be getting a call soon. Not yet. I've not missed one. Okay, so this is a lot. And I'm going to go about my day and probably just film the vlog because I haven't done one yet for this week. You might have noticed it's missing. So I'm going to do all that, and I'm going to edit this video. Sorry it was a bit all over the place at times, you know, that is just me. So I'm going to go. I will see you again next time for another video. Take care everyone. Goodbye.